you've reached a point now in the course, and you are examining again cross-cultural leadership and how you can practice good and godly qualities within a multi-ethnic setting. And so, what Elmer does in the last part of his section, chapters 11 through 14, is he begins to then now model what does servant leadership look like, and he points to Jesus Christ. He uses Jesus Christ, John 13 model, where John is showing the upper room. Jesus gets down, begins to wash the disciples' feet. He also shows us the quality of leadership as it looks from Philippians chapter 2, where Christ is exalted on high, but he learned what it meant not to grasp on to the thing that he wanted to hold on to, but he lowered himself as a servant and giving him his life up as a sacrifice for you and I. So what Elmer does is he uses these different biblical passages in light of Christian leadership. And so as you go into a cultural group that is not familiar to yourself, you need to model a Christ-like attitude and now pick up the basin towel ministry. Begin to wash the people that you're serving and wanting to gain trust with. And that becomes a profound image for you and I to think about and practice. And really, it's a powerful way to serve people and serve human needs. And from there, he shows us what power looks like and how power can be very abusive. And if that's the way you model your leadership, it's something you need to suspend right now and avoid. And any type of dictatorial leadership character trait is strongly challenged in Scripture. And I like what he does in this section. He calls it the Gentile virus, for that's what it is. And when you begin to lord over the people that God has assigned to you, and to think about the group from wielding power and oversight and not coming from a servant model, people are not going to respond well in that context, and especially in a multi-ethnic context where you are the outsider coming in. And I would also add this is outside of Elmer, but what I would say in any type of global context is as you go into a community that is new, you have to remember that you are the immigrant, you're the outsider, and there are natives that have resided there all their life, maybe even might be generational. And so there again, you're going to that global context and you have to learn their symbols and cultural traits. And one way you do that is through service. And that's how you gain trust, as he says in chapter 6 of his book. And ultimately, he gives us some other pictures of some biblical models, such as Joseph showing a model of service to his brothers, helping Egypt get through the famine. He goes to his brother and says, "You meant this for evil, but God intended for the good." And so he comes out of slavery, Joseph does, becomes a leader, and through his service, not wielding power over his brothers, but showing compassion and love to his family and providing for his family through goods and provision and even safety, is a strong characteristic of servant leadership model that you and I need to accept and even practice within our life. So that is where Elmer is going with his books. You should be reading. You should be underlining key concepts and insights, because this is what will be the basis of your final project as you put it together. You need to be adding those insights and perspectives and not just giving me a blanket comment, but actually applying those comments within the context of leadership.